Om Swastiastu. Greetings to facilitator and evaluator. We are from small group discussion B3, and in this opportunity, we will present our student project with title Choreo Retinitis. And these are our group members that participated in the student project presentation. Okay, let's start the first chapter, Introduction.
Hello, my name is Ketut Adelia Febrianti Puspadewi. With the last 3 digits of my student ID number is 041. So we will start the presentation with the chapter 1, which is the introduction. As we know that infectious diseases are one of the medical problems that become serious threat for humans from time to time. Infectious disease, which also known as a communicable disease, are caused by pathogenic microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, fungi, or parasites that can be spread by direct or indirect transmission from one individual to another. One of the infectious diseases that affect of visual impairment is chorioretinitis. This disease is an inflammation of the choroid and retina of eye that form uveitis affecting the posterior segment of eyes, which can lead to vision-threatening complications. So that's all from me. My friend will continue the next part. Thank you.
Swastiastu. My name is Dewa Ayufani Pramasanti, and the last 3 digits of my student ID number is 004. So these are the problem formulation of our student project. First is what are the definition and epidemiology of chorioretinitis. Second is what are the etiology and pathology of chorioretinitis. Third is what are the diagnosis and differential diagnosis of chorioretinitis. Fourth is what are the treatment of chorioretinitis and its consideration. And 5 is how is the prognosis of chorioretinitis. And the purpose of our student projects are knowing about the definition and epidemiology of chorioretinitis, knowing about the etiology and pathology of chorioretinitis, knowing about the diagnosis and differential diagnosis of chorioretinitis, knowing about the treatment of chorioretinitis and its consideration, and knowing about the prognosis of chorioretinitis. And the benefit of our student projects are able to know about the definition and epidemiology of chorioretinitis, able to understand the etiology and pathology of chorioretinitis, able to know the diagnosis and differential diagnosis of chorioretinitis, able to understand the treatment of chorioretinitis and its consideration, and able to understand about the prognosis of chorioretinitis. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you, and next.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Evangelina Vincent Utamila Sterda with student ID number 2002511970. On this occasion, I will continue to explain about chapter 2 discussion, the definition and epidemiology of chorioretinitis. Chorioretinitis is an inflammation of the uveal tract of the eye that causes inflammation in the choroid and retina of the eye. This inflammation is usually a sequela of infection acquired in utero or acute infection acquired in immunocompetent individuals. People with chorioretinitis usually experience decreased vision, blurry eyes, eye pain, and photophobia. Chorioretinitis is usually present at birth as a result of congenital infection by Toxoplasma gondii and cytomegalovirus, or associated with other infections such as syphilis, candidiasis, and people with immunocompetent. Chorioretinitis also occur at any age depending on the disease. From several studies in Germany, it was found that the average annual number of cases of ocular toxoplasmosis was 1,601 cases. In France, there were 21 new cases of ocular syphilis. Well, that's all for the definition and epidemiology. The next point will be explained further by my friends, and thank you.
Okay, my name is Putri Yudhistira Kawardana with 3 last digit student ID number 098. I will continue the presentation. Okay, so if we talk about etiology, chorioretinitis can be classified by two. It's infectious and non-infectious, and also congenital or acquired. Etiology based on the infectious one cause include toxoplasmosis, viruses such as cytomegalovirus, rubella, herpes simplex, lymphocytic choriomeningitis virus, and also by the fungal like Candida albicans. While the non-infectious one with systemic association includes sarcoidosis and Behçet disease. The next one will be continued by my colleagues. Thank you.
My name is Ida Bagus Ramasatya Saputra with the last 3-digit student ID 104. So the pathophysiology of chorioretinitis, that there is chorioretinitis is usually caused by an infection. Usually it is a toxoplasma infection. So it's usually happen because someone can ingest tissue cyst in raw or uncooked meat, or by ingestion in oocyst in cat feces. It can also transmit by placenta from mother to child. Next.
All right, greetings. My name is Felix Stephen Lubis, and now I'm going to explain about the diagnosis. So the diagnosis of ocular toxoplasmosis is basically substantiated on the basis of different clinical presentation. If the clinical diagnosis fails to be detected by funduscopy, serological tests such as serum immunoglobulin M and anti-toxoplasma immunoglobulin G titers can be used as an alternative to establish the diagnosis of Toxoplasma gondii antibody titer in a fluid or polymerase chain reaction from vitreous and vitreous samples is another new instrument with accurate sensitivity and specificity to establish the diagnosis. Based on observation and observations made, it can be proved that the most diagnosis laboratories can only measure immunoglobulin M and immunoglobulin G antibody levels using enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay or ELISA and commercial immunofluorescent antibody kits. Meanwhile, ELISA has proven to be more accurate than immunofluorescent antibody testing because it allows automation for the simultaneous testing of most samples, and the results obtained tend to be more accurate. The Sabin-Feldman staining test, the classical standard serological test, use likely Toxoplasma gondii thanatocoids to detect immunoglobulin G antibodies. Although more accurate, this test is not recommended because of the risk of infection in the laboratory and the lack of reference in the laboratory. So that's all from me. Thank you.
All right, my name is Sofia Ceria Paramita with my last 3-digit ID number 156, and I will be explaining about the differential diagnosis for chorioretinitis that includes any of the torch agents such as cytomegalovirus, rubella, and syphilis infection. The first one is congenital cytomegalovirus infection that is similar to congenital toxoplasmosis, but congenital toxoplasmosis is more common. Both clinical and subclinical forms of congenital toxoplasmosis, ocular involvement is more prevalent than in congenital cytomegalovirus. Other than that, congenital cytomegalovirus tend to be more peripheral and less pigmented. Meanwhile, the chorioretinitis in rubella and syphilis consists of depigmentation and pigmentation areas at the retinal surface, showing a salt and pepper appearance. Maybe that is all from me. Next slide will be delivered by my friend. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Anjamanda Devi with last 3 digits of student ID number R088. I will continue the presentation about the treatment of chorioretinitis and its consideration. Chorioretinitis is an inflammation with progressive and necrotizing condition of the retinal and vitreous vascular structures. The treatment are actually varies depending on the patient condition, but the goal of the treatment is the same, which is maintaining the patient visual function. From all the treatment that can be given to chorioretinitis patient, the standard treatment for Toxoplasma chorioretinitis is triple drug treatment that consisting of 2 antibiotics such as sulfadiazine, 1 gram 4 times a day for 3 until 4 weeks, and pyrimethamine, 75 to 100 milligram a day for 1 until 2 days, and then the dose lowered to 25 to 50 milligram a day for 4 weeks, along with 1 corticosteroid. But For patients who have normal immune response abilities, Toxoplasma-related chorioretinitis is only an infection that can resolve spontaneously within 4 until 8 weeks. The presentation will be continued by my friend. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Agustin Rahtatariteorna. I'm with the student number 2002511215, and I'm about to present the second slide of the treatment. Let's go. However, the disease course, when compared with immunocompromised cases, can be more severe and progressive. Secondary treatment is not recommended in this patient because of the natural history of the disease and side effects of the drug itself. Surgical treatments such as cryotherapy, planar vitrectomy, and laser photocoagulation are done to treat the complications. The treatment for syphilis chorioretinitis is intravenous penicillin. So for me, next.
Thank you for the chance. My name is Rivana Lusanias. With the last 3 digits of my student ID number is 119. I will explain to you about the prognosis of chorioretinitis. So visual prognosis depends on the recurrences, locations of the chorioretinal lesion, and other posterior segment complications. Toxoplasma has a high recurrence rate of chorioretinitis after an active episode. Lesions located near to the macula and optic nerve could cause severe visual impairment. In immunocompetent individuals, the prognosis is good if the central macula is not involved. That's from me. The presentation will be continued by my friend. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Angel Cynthia Caroline, and the last 3 digits of my student ID number is 068. Now I would like to explain to you about chapter 3, the conclusion. In conclusion, chorioretinitis is inflammation of the uveal tract of the eye, involving the posterior segment of the eye. The etiology of chorioretinitis is classified into infectious and non-infectious, and it is diagnosed by its clinical manifestations. And if endoscopy can determine the diagnosis, serological tests can be used to support the diagnosis. The next part will be delivered by my friend. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Ananda Karaharja with last 3 digits of student ID number is 136, and I will continue the conclusion. Treatment for chorioretinitis patient varies depending on the patient's condition with aim to maintaining visual functions. Standard treatment for Toxoplasma chorioretinitis is triple drug treatment that consisting of 2 antibiotics along with 1 corticosteroid. Secondary treatment is not recommended in this patient due to the natural history of the disease and side effects of the drugs. The visual prognosis depends on several factors such as the rate of recurrence, location of chorioretinal patient, and other posterior segment complication. Okay, that's all the presentation about our student project. Thank you for listening and hopefully useful for all of us. Thank you.